This is a true horrifying story of a person who visited Al Qasimi Palace in Ras Al Khaimah, the United Arab Emirates. This story happened in 2004. Al Qasimi Palace is known to be the most haunted place in the UAE. I already covered a story about this palace in my Horrifying Stories Part 4. Please check it out when you can. Sahar, a 20-year-old girl back then. She visited the UAE for the first time. She had a group of friends and one of them was Ahmed. Ahmed today is married to Sahar, but back then they were very good friends. They were a big group of friends. One day, they all decided to visit Al Qasimi Palace. It was around 9 p.m. when they decided to go. Now, back in 2004, the palace was way more dangerous to visit than it is now. The palace was recently opened for tourists after the religious cleansing was done. Sahar and her friends reached the palace. The caretaker at the palace did not allow them in at first. After minutes of trying, he agreed, and he told them that whatever happens inside is not his responsibility. And he told them to walk up the driveway and keep the cars outside. They started walking, and as they were walking towards the gate of the palace, Ahmed grabs Sahar's arm and he says, "I don't think this is a good idea." They all agreed not to go inside and they cancelled the whole thing. Now put in mind, they are still outside. Sahar wanted some sort of memento, so she grabbed a stone from the driveway to keep it as a memory. As she picks up the stone, she heard giggles and her name being called from the roof of the palace. She immediately drops the stone and keeps walking. They all hopped in the car and she pointed at the house from a distance and she said, "I thought you said there's no electricity here. Why is one of the lights turned on?" As they all turned to look, the lights were already switched off. Ever since that night, Sahar was suffering every single night. Whatever she did outside that house, whoever she disturbed, and even though she did not go inside, she was the only one that was tortured by jinns for 6 years of her life. She would regularly wake up with scars and bruises on her body. She would have terrible nightmares, and she would be physically grabbed by unseen beings. All of this is because of her visit to that palace. In 2010, all of this has stopped. But just imagine what would have happened in 2004 if Sahar went inside the palace.